Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Daz. As you all know, I'm a certified trichologist with NHCG Trichology, which is my practice, and today I bring you a very important topic, because I know as we go into the new year, a lot of people are having these goals. You know, at the start of every year, everyone has new year resolutions. There's these plans, these goals that you set for yourselves. And so today's video is really here to encourage and to help you and to give you a perspective of how much hair you can actually retain in 2022, okay, based off of the science of hair care and different ways that we go about building a healthy hair regimen. Because without a healthy hair regimen, sis, you might not retain any length at the end of the day. Your hair is growing, but retaining the length is a whole ball game, especially when you have natural thick hair. So how much hair can you retain in 2022? I'm going to show you guys some of my own personal pictures, because of course I like to share my personal journey on this channel, as well as make it relatable, because even if I'm a professional, I'm also someone who is on a healthy hair journey. And so seeing things from my perspective and seeing how I approach hair care can really help you achieve your own hair care goals. So at the end of 2020, which was, you know, a very stressful year, I did a length check and I realized that I was at 13 inches at the end of 2020. Unfortunately, I don't know if I can find the picture. If I can, I will attach it to this video. But I did a length check and it was about 13 inches and I think some change. Now, by the end of 2021, I did a length check recently and my hair is about 15, 16 inches. I'm trying to go away from length being the goal all the time. I trim my ends if I need to. You know, I just take care of my hair and make sure it's healthy, and that's really my goal. So for you, if that is your goal, great. If it means you have to chop half of your hair at the end of the year, good. But if you're really trying to retain length for 2022, you should know a little bit about the science of hair. You'll be wondering, okay, so what does she do to get those extra inches? So basically, this is how it works. Your hair grows half an inch every month. Averagely, on an average, every human being will have half an inch of hair every single month. I'm going to show you how half an inch of hair looks. 1 second. I'm back. So this is a measuring tape and this is a whole inch of hair right there. That is an inch of hair. So if your hair grows half an inch every month, we're looking at that much. About that much. You could barely see it. So if your hair goes half an inch a month and by month 2 it's 1 inch longer, right? There are 12 months in a year, so by the end of the year you should be 6 inches longer, right? That's with all things being equal. That's without trims, that's without any kind of styling, you know, shaping of your curls. But the crazy part is, even when you don't put scissors in your hair can be breaking off by itself, breaking off by itself, breaking off by itself, breaking off by itself through the 12 months. And that is because our hair shaft, which I'm going to show you guys over here. So this is a structure, the anatomy of hair, and our hair shaft, which is here, the area you see that comes through the follicle, they're just layers and layers and layers of dead cells, okay? So what happens is they end up splitting along the way, and I will show you some images from my trichoscope. So they end up splitting along the way, and that can cause the hair to break off even before it finishes its cycle, which is, this is the cycle: anagen, the growth stage; catagen, the rest, the shed stage. So it could have early anagen where it breaks off even before it goes through its cycle. So what does that explain? That explains why we don't see the 12 inches of hair at the end of the year. It's always very encouraging when that length does follow. So how much hair can you retain in 2022? Really, it's all about being very intentional about your regimen. Look at your starting point. So I had a starting point at the beginning of 2021 of 13 inches. I measured out my hair. You know, I was able to look at my split ends, get rid of them, and, you know, get into my hair regimen. So one thing I realized with my hair is it doesn't do well shrunken. It doesn't do well when the curls are completely dry and, you know, shriveled up. So it does better when it's stretched, because why? There's less tangles, there's less chances for the curls to intertwine. So this is a ball of curly hair from a client I just finished with now. So you can see how it looks when it's dry, and, you know, it's basically in its shrunken state, in its curly state. I'm going to wet this hair and show you guys how it looks stretched out. So I just took a little section of that hair that was all in a ball, and you can see that once you put some water in it, it stretches and elongates from like a shriveled ball, and this will cause the hair to tangle much less. Twists or braids for hitless stretches. When I mean braids, I mean like plaits, big plaits. I could attach some images. We'll keep it stretched instead of allowing it completely dry up back into that ball like this, because guess what, once it's in this ball state, it's going to tangle much more easily than when it's completely stretched out. I don't know if you guys understand my visualization of all of this, but I'm hoping you do. Once you get your hair measured at the start of the year, then you should think of a regimen to keep your hair stretched, if length is your goal. Now, if length is not your goal and you know you like rocking an afro, I say go for it, and nobody should be bothered about length in that situation. But if length is your goal, you definitely can't do it without having a stretch regimen. So with mine, I don't just use the heatless method. I would put a blow dryer in my hair. My hair is actually blown out here, and I don't use a regular blow dryer. I use the Rev Air, which I'm going to attach because I find that it's way less heat and it's just more gentle on the hair, and it does have the wand that gives that stretching motion, so it really helps with stretching my hair. Once you get your stretching regimen down, you also want to think of protective styling. It's 12 months in the year. If you have your hair out all 12 of those months, it might hamper your length retention goals for 2022. So think about a protective style that you can do that can help your hair from being exposed to all the elements. So if it has to be crochet, which is one of my favorites, I like faux locks, I like crochet. Some people like, you know, the big knotless braids, but make sure you have a plan. So before I do any protective style, I do a protein treatment prior to, like maybe 3 days to, I get my hair done, my protective style done, and usually I would keep it in for not more than a month. So for me personally, I keep it for 2 weeks, but you know, some people after spending all that money is like, 2 weeks? No way. So you can keep it for a month, and after a month you could take it out, and I do a repeat protein treatment. That helps with strengthening the hair, giving the hair more elasticity, and just helping the hair to, you know, feel better to the touch and break less. So that's, you know, a good plan to incorporate a protein treatment prior to and after every protective style. For me in 2021, I think I did close to 5 protective styles. I will find the pictures and attach. I think I did faux locks, I did something called bohemian crochet braids. I'm going to try and find the pictures, but I did protective styles periodically as the seasons went by, and I enjoyed every single one, and encourage you to find a protective style that you can do maybe every quarter. Please never do protective styles back to back. Even if you have a friend or a sister that's a stylist, don't do protective styles back to back, because you can lead to breakage and damage, and you don't want to do that. Extreme protectiveness that turns to destructiveness, because when your hair is hidden away with extensions, it can get dry and it can break off. Finally, you know, I said I trimmed my hair over time in the year, and that is, I think, the key to making sure that your ends still look presentable at the end of the year. You know, you want to retain length, so it sounds counterproductive to trim the ends. And I'm sure you've seen these videos where they're like, trim your ends, your hair will grow, and you think, what are they saying? But it's the truth. Trim your ends because you want to be a step ahead of your ends splitting on their own. So you go in and you trim them periodically. I don't wait till I have like so many split ends before I trim my ends. I trim my ends on schedule every quarter. As the season changes, I just give my ends a nice snip, and that's just a way to prevent them from ever really getting to that really bad stage. You know that stage? I'm going to insert some clips of that stage. Yeah, so I call it the inverted V stage, where your hair is just splitting on its own and you start to have like almost like a graph of you know, hair breakage just going in its own way. You don't want to do that. You don't want that to be the case. You want to be a step ahead. So I try to trim my ends regularly. I think with those steps, just those 3 tips, just incorporating those 3 tips for 2022, you will be able to retain length, because you keep yourself accountable when you're actually, you know where you started from, you have an idea of what to do, you get a good routine. Of course, you use great products. I will give you a link to our shop page, because we have really awesome products, and you can read testimonials and stuff on our Instagram page, which I will leave a link below in the comments. But all of those things will kind of accumulate to where you will now be able to see the length retained at the end of 2022. So I wish you guys luck. I truly believe that we can get to that point. I have goals for myself for 2022. My goal is to get to 18 inches. So I'm about 16 now, so 18 inches, that's not too much to ask this hair, right? So I'm going to try and see how much I can retain at the end of 2022, and of course I will update you guys. And I really am excited for 2022, and I hope to upload more videos. And so please subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and keep in touch with me in the comments below. So thank you so much for watching, and bye, and Happy New Year!